There we go. All right. Well, Ginger Keanu is going to be on because he's got a deck to go over in a little bit. But we're going to do two things today. First, I'm going to show you guys my new. I don't do a lot on my phone. I don't have a lot of apps, but I did get a new one. You guys see that yet? We're going to go over this in a little bit. There's a nice little deck. I think this is my favorite app of all time. There's Ginger Keanu working from home. What? All right. So before we go over the ROM effect app and what this is and what it can do, which is another tool to be help you guys be successful, and something that well, I'll go over more of this in a minute. But first, since we've been going over getting back to our roots in education and training, I was going to take a little time, and we're going to go over this probably next week too, because I'm going to dive more in depth into this. We're going to go over the comp plan and the business model and how you should be using it and how you can use it. And what we'll do is I'm going to do like 2 weeks of this, and then we'll do a Q&A towards the middle of this month to let you guys ask questions because, well, let's dive into it. So first and foremost, since I'm the architect of this, I want you guys to understand what, why, and how we did what we're doing so you can effectively explain to people what, why, and how this is designed to function, so you can properly explain to people what the intention is. So first, conceptually, we are all of great value, right? You hear from Christina our importance, that we're each an imperfect piece to a perfect puzzle. And you've heard me talk constantly that we are 6 degrees from 6.5 billion people. I know there's 8 billion people on the planet, but there's like 2 billion that don't have connectivity. They don't have an opportunity to have a ROM effect app, right? So you have connectivity to 6 billion people literally within 6 degrees of your relationships. So with that, it's our behavior that creates tremendous value. And we are, each of us individually, of tremendous influence because we are already connected to everyone. But you're connected to everyone indirectly, right? So in a world where we talk so much about being an influencer, right? Whether it's on social media or celebrities or athletes, a person that's homeless that might be deemed to have nothing is of the same value as someone that is deemed to have everything, like a Cristiano Ronaldo, right? Who has more followers on social media than I think anybody. He's got like 400 million followers, allegedly, right? But through the homeless person, I can probably pretty quickly get to Cristiano Ronaldo because we're all connected, right? And there's a value proposition that's there for everyone. That's the foundation of everything that we worked on. The biggest problem that I saw in business was that businesses don't put their money where their mouth is. Where is a business's value created? It's not created from the products that they create or the service they provide. It's created from their customers that value their service, that pay for it, right? And it's those same customers that share with their friends that create more value for a company. The simple premise was, why don't we invest in that? But there's a true value proposition knowing that we are all connected indirectly. So we wanted to build a mechanism, or I wanted to build a mechanism that would coincide with what Christina could create that would allow everyone to be rewarded and to be able to track what your influence is and reward it. So you have direct influence and then you have indirect influence. So this has been outlined for years in the MLM industry of having the idea to reward people, for being able to build an organization of consumers. But also in business, when you look at social media and how social media has been constructed, there was a disconnect of a company with a brand and an influencer or a celebrity, and you say influencer, I'm going to use, well, when I say influencer in this reference, I'm talking about people that have an audience, right? If you have 1,000 followers or more on social media, you have an audience. Or even at 50 or more, you have an audience, right? But if you don't understand the difference between audience and influence, right? You can have 4 million followers, and if all you do is show off your boobs and your butt, you might have a huge audience, but you might not have any influence because all they're doing is watching you post pictures of yourself, but they don't value your opinion, right? Where you might have 50 followers and you might have such a targeted audience because they follow you for something specifically that you have a tremendous amount of influence in that population. And it could be that those 50 people with their passion for you would engage in whatever you're doing and also be open to sharing that because they're passionate about it. So the problem in business has been finding the means of actually properly being able to identify the value of audience and influence, because it's always off, right? This mechanism was designed to create parity, that if you create value, you will be rewarded greater than what a company would be capable or willing to pay you. And if you don't, well, you won't, because you're not creating any value. You might have an audience, but if you can't create value, then you have no value, right? Why would a company pay you if you actually can't produce? Now, if everybody's aligned, then shouldn't be a problem. So that was the foundation of the principles that built the ecosystem. And this is an ecosystem. This is an algorithmic fintech ecosystem. It's highly complex when you really start to dive into it, but it's designed to be really, really simple. So when you look at the mechanisms, right, the most important asset to every company and every individual is one thing, and it is your sole purpose if you're an ambassador: customers. That's it. It's your sole purpose. Get more customers, create customers. And we put a heavy focus on customer creation. We reward it in so many different ways. And we do that symbolically because we want to teach the principles of what's important, right? There's two things that are most important: subscription memberships, right? Because you want people to be continually using the products and you want them to get them regularly. That's RPS. Did you guys know there's an RPS rewards program? Right? If you've got 19 customers plus yourself on RPS, or 20 customers, you get extra bonuses. I just found out this morning that I think we have 89 people that get those rewards, and they're receiving 6% of the company's revenue. We have 2 people that each have over 390 personal customers on RPS. One of them's a practitioner. One of them has a podcast. 2 completely different parallels. But they make $4,000 a month just from having their members on RPS, right? And those people do it voluntarily. They're not told, they're not required. Well, the practitioner might be requiring it, which honestly, if you're a practitioner and you start to understand these products, every single person you know should be on every product we have. Actually, I do it. And I don't look 50. Actually, I got a little white, but it was funny. I met a guy this weekend that we were the same age. He was like 47 and looked 65, and I didn't mention how old I was because I would have torn his heart out. I'm like, bro, that's hard on you. But I will tell you, I'm basically living on all of our goodies right now. I'm doing my own test. I barely eat other food. And that's something that's really important, right? Even over the next few weeks, I'm going to try to simplify this. You guys know how much produce costs right now in the United States or even overseas? If you're not growing your own vegetables and stuff, do you know how expensive that stuff is? And even if you are growing it, do you know how toxic all this stuff is? The water you're using, the air you're using, the soil you're using, all of it is so polluted. You can't get, I mean, it's been something that's talked about for 20 years, but you can't get what you need. And even the stuff that you're trying to grow is going to poison you because of indirect toxicity that's put inside those plants, stuff that you can't control. Relive Greens, and some people are like, oh my God, it's expensive. I want you to take all of the ingredients on Relive Greens and go to the grocery store and just buy one serving, not a month's supply. Just get one serving of everything that's on there. And then look at what it'll cost you. And then compare the fact that you've got something that's completely detoxified. Now, is it kind of cool that now there's another patent on the process that Christina uses to detoxify all of the ingredients, her lectin removal patent? No one's ever done that before, by the way. So you have something that if you take a teaspoon or a third of a teaspoon or a half of a teaspoon, however much you use, you're getting everything from a nutrient standpoint from greens and spirulina and the rest of the components that your body needs on a daily basis. Now, if you started doing that morning and night, it'll blow you away what happens, but you don't have to go buy a ton of groceries of produce to get what you need. It's all there. That's intentional. I will tell you, if you give somebody an opportunity to make that switch, they will save money every month. So someone that's looking at a spend, you have to teach them a little simple aspect of economics. If you spend something here and you spend less over here, that savings is your money, right? That's a good trade. That will happen. You can look at the same thing with Sculpt and Crush. Crush is a beast. Dylan and I are going to do a bunch of stuff together because it's his favorite product and he understands it on a level that really I haven't seen anybody else be able to discuss yet. He understands it better than I do because it's his passion and his focus in training is more up to date than mine. So we're going to go over that, but you need protein in your diet, right? Well, great. Here's the best combination of ingredients that's ever been put on the market to give you what you need, right? It's unlike anything you can get your hands on. You don't need to eat a lot of meat if you're using that because you're getting everything you need. Now, like for me, what I've started to do is I'll eat like 5 eggs for dinner with a couple things to go along with my Crush and everything else. And I will tell you, I don't have time to work out because I'm lazy and I have all my other stuff to do, but I'm leaning out like crazy and that's dope. So you have all these tools. You have things that people are searching for. And within the ecosystem, this is the one thing. So many people have focused on clean slate since the beginning because of COVID and because of, having an audience or being able to take a simple step and go, oh my God, this can reverse the stuff from that people are having injected into them. That's true. But do you know the Trinity also has a patent to reverse aging? And I'll tell you, there's more people that want to reverse aging than want to just deal with a vaccine issue.
Clay, do
And
you want to tell a little bit about what we announced on Friday, the RPS members and the special additions that we made to
yeah,
that?
we got to do that. So what we announced to our RPS members, and you guys can go over, because we're trying to do new incentives. I'm calculating what the Harvest Rewards bonus is going to be for the last quarter. Oh, there's going to be one for those that were like, oh, we're not going to get a bonus. There's going to be a bonus. Might not be very big because it's all predicated on sales volume and we're already paying a ton of money, but we're going to make sure everybody gets a bonus. And it's a good thing for everybody if you get more customers, because then your bonus gets bigger. How about that? You know, if everybody gets more customers, if you share with your friends, you're going to make more money. Who knew? It's kind of cool. So, but our focus
Tokens.
on rewarding our members that are on RPS. That's your lifeblood, right? And unlike other companies that have you pay an annual membership fee for the service, we actually reward you for it. Now, right now, if you spend up to $174 every 4 months, you get a $50 token. If you spend $175 or more per month, you get two $50 tokens. But we did something in addition to that because, well, more is better. So if you spend $350 a month or more on your RPS for those 3 or 4 months, you'll get 3 tokens. That's $150. So you get 3 $50 tokens every 4 months for your RPS. That's pretty dope. And you can use those personally. You can send them to friends. If you want to give somebody a gift, I will tell you that's one thing I do a lot of. I've got a kid, 21-year-old kid that I talked to on Thursday, that I had him create an account. And I'm like, look, give me your email address. I'm going to send you a gift because he has pandas and his mom's a doctor. So he's had pandas since he was 4. And I thought he had the little animals that were white and black and were really cute. Apparently, that's not pandas. Um, he has a bunch of neurological issues from all of the chaos from where he grew up and what was put in him. So we're gonna be friends because and this is something you guys should do. You probably don't have the confidence that I do yet, which you should because you basically have the same tools that I do. But I told him, I said, look, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you some stuff and I'm going to send you a link that we can track your outcomes. And you're going to do this for 30, 60, 90 days. And I'm going to give you the tools. And then after we see some outcomes, you can see how you're doing. And then we'll be friends. And he's like, I have this whole community of kids my age and younger and older that have been trying to deal with this stuff. My life goal is to be able to help people. I'm like, good, we'll do that later. We're not going to talk about that yet. We're just going to take care of you. I'm going to send you some stuff. He's like, are you serious? I'm like, yes, I'm going to send you a gift because I'm going to invest in your health. And that's all I want. I don't want thank yous until you get better. So I'm going to send him a couple tokens. He can get exactly what I'm going to tell him to get, which is the Trinity Relive Greens and Immune Defense Shield. And in 30, 60 days, he'll be normal. He'll be happy and healthy, and then we'll be friends. And that's worth it because he's like, dude, if this works, my mom's going to plug this into her clinic. I'm like, I know, but we're not going to go there yet. Right? This is the way you can invest in people, and you should, and you can use your RPS membership as an easy way of doing that, right? Because when you get those tokens, you can just share those with people. And that was kind of what they were designed to do. Either give you a discount so you can get new stuff, you can try stuff, or give you a tool that you can share with your friends.
Hey Clayton, just so you, because I think a lot of people know this, but just so we are sure they do, can you explain to ambassadors why it's helpful for them themselves to have customers underneath them on RPS? So why is it better to have a customer sign up on RPS versus just buying every month?
Man, if you're on RPS, you get the bonuses.
Not okay.
Man,
Well, I might just answer this then. Yeah.
recurring revenue that okay, I've got 10, 20 people that are generating revenue for you. Because if you start to model this as a business, right, we have we've had many conversations with people like, oh, do you have a wholesale program? Because practitioners want a wholesale program, right? They want to be able to buy it and retail it. Do you know why someone will ask you if they want a wholesale program? Because they don't know what they have access to, right? Traditionally, right now, a company is going to have 40% margin, if they're buying something wholesale. So they have to buy it, they have to stock it, they have to make sure that it's on the shelf and they get it for people. Well, you can actually do that better within the ecosystem. But if each of us looks at this as something simple, if you're getting direct customers and your focus is in getting customers, if you're a free user or a customer of the brand, when you share your link with your friends, and this is the most important, the important aspect of becoming an ambassador. So I want you all to listen to me and I want you all to focus on this one thing. This one thing. I feel like I'm in City Slickers. Life is one thing. That one thing. Well, what is that one thing? You have to figure out what that one thing is. But here's the one thing in our side. Your sole purpose is to get customers. And when you get customers, you have to follow up with your customers and check on them and see how they're doing. And they should be using an app so they can track their outcomes and they can figure out what they can do for their health. You know, the dope part of this, the two primary guys that helped design this are Duquesne and Dylan. And they got to geek out on this thing. So they did amazing in-house, and Patrick was a big help. And then we had our outside team, but they did a ton of work to put this together for you. So if you follow up with your customers, right, and they start getting results. Now, how quickly can that happen? Clean slate and zero in? Quick, right? My favorite thing to do is give people 2-0 in and tell them to come see me in 20 minutes. And that works, right? Christina and I shot a new documentary on biohacking. And the couple that did the documentary, it'll come out in December, they interviewed 100 people in the industry that have different products, different services, all of the main influencers in biohacking. They interviewed 100 people. I talked to them last week. You know what they told me? They're like, can we get more of that zero in stuff? We've tried everything. This stuff crushes everything in the market. There's nothing like that stuff. We need more. And they've used everything because everyone's trying to pitch them on stuff. It is the best in the world at what it does, and there's nothing comparable. And when you have people go, how do I get that? I'm like, well, we'll make sure you have a link so you can buy it and you can order it. And then you can share it with your friends, because that's going to be kind of important, because we slow played that, right? We didn't come out and be like, oh my God, we've got this great business model and everything. We did an interviews talking about what Christina's done from a science standpoint, what our philosophy was, what our products did, and then we left them some samples. And obviously they used them, right? And this is the key of customers. Did I take the time to explain to them the entire ecosystem and how this is a phenomenal opportunity to make money off their influence? No. I want them to become a customer. I want them to use the products. And then we're going to follow up and I'm going to say, great, you know what? You can share this with your friends. You can share this with your community and you can get rewarded. You want to do this with every single person. You don't ever want to pitch someone on becoming an ambassador. Never. Don't ever do it. It's the most inauthentic thing you can do, right? You've got the most dynamic weapon of financial benefit available on the market. And trust me, I can break down comp plans. There's no MLM company that can do what we're doing, right? There's no other business that's dropping 47+% of their revenue into the people that create the value. There's not. Trust me, I talk to a lot of people. No one's doing what we're doing, and that's being done intentionally. You have those tools. It's much like a guy going to a place and meeting a woman. He doesn't just throw everything and vomit on her initially. He's going to have a conversation. He's hopefully going to take interest in her, and she's going to have interest in him. And then at some point they will, further their conversation, right? This is the point of what this entire ecosystem is built upon. That if you can teach your customers to share what they love about the products that they love, and eventually you can introduce them to other products, and all you do is show them, hey, you know what? If you love this stuff, you get this cool link too. So rootbrands.com/whatever your username is. When you're talking to your friends, if you just send that link to them and say, hey, if you like this, here's a link. I love this stuff. Oh my God, this Give Me Back My Youth is dope, right? You know about collagen and colostrum? Here, it's the only thing that's got both of them in it, and it's amazing. Let me send you a link. You can try this, right? You got to get it. You got to get it. How do I get it? Okay, go here. Here's a link. I got a link. And when they share with their friends, they get 15% credit for whatever they purchase in perpetuity. And that's all you teach. And all you teach is that repetition. Eventually, somebody might get 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 customers. And after they get 2, they're going to receive an email that says, hey, would you like to upgrade? Do you do that when someone has 2 customers? No, you do not. Do you try to have your kid win the Olympics in sprints when they take their first 2 steps? Nope. They're still a baby. There's a lot of development, a lot of work that needs to be done in order to get to that point. If you take the time to help foster those, and what's the flaw in this, right? Because so many people are so quick to try to get ambassadors, right? When it's not the authentic thing to do, that if you take the time and you teach people a simple principle of, hey, just share with your friends. If you like it, the company is going to reward you for it. You get 15% on everything that's done. They go, holy crap, that's amazing. If you just do that, you teach them to do that, then they're not selling their friends. You're eliminating the one biggest caveat that is the worst thing for people to hear. Oh, is this some business opportunity? Is this some MLM thing? Is this some, pyramid scheme? Nope, it's not. Company just rewards you for sharing because they invest in their community. They invest in the people that create value for them. Our advertising budget is spent on the people that actually do the advertising and promotion for us. We just figured it was better to put money in people than it was to Facebook and Instagram and the rest of Google and socials, because everybody's already connected there. I don't need to pay them. We should pay the people that are the ones that create all the value for it. That's the principle. But if you just teach people to get customers, you're going to have the best success. Now, once you teach someone to get a bunch of customers, you're going to work with them to teach their customers the same process that you just did. Now, why would you do that? Well, because you're going to make 15% on whatever your customer purchases. But when your customer is creating all of those new customers, you're getting 10%, they're getting 15%. Their 15% can be used for internal consumption, which means they're going to use that to buy more products, because if they're getting all those rewards and they can use them for the purchase of stuff, they're going to buy more things that they want to try, because now they don't have to pay for it. What does that mean? It means you get rewarded more because they're spending more because they got all this free money for doing a behavior that was natural. But when you teach them to do the same thing authentically, they you and they follow up with their customers, and you see if you start creating other customers, this is where the effort comes in, because you're going to get to manage people and you get to communicate with more people. When they learn that they can share with their friends, nothing more, nothing less, you're going to get a 10% reward, they're getting a 15% reward. And then once that customer base starts to develop, you can show your customer the value of becoming an ambassador. But they've already done the behavior. So they're like, well, what do I do as an ambassador? The same thing you did to do this. And then if you understand marketing and you understand social media, and then you're like, well, until February of next year, we have this Now site thing that can help you on social media and can help you create content. And there's all these other tools. And check out, Christina's got 3.1 million followers on Instagram. You should probably follow her. But you know what's even more dope? There's this app that you can track everything on, and you can actually log into, and you can put your goals, and you can track your goals and get tips and cooking tips and all this stuff on here in this app. Now, Patrick, how was that for a segue?
That was a great cue. I'm actually impressed that you gave me
Bro,
25 minutes.
I'm skilled.
Listen, you can get ripping and roaring about things, and I know that we're on a magical roller coaster ride.
Even Coco's chilling right now. She's like, Dad's calm.
I miss you guys. So, obviously, we wanted to take some time to really discuss the ROM Effect app. And I know, and Dylan, myself, and Duquesne have tried to do a good job of answering a lot of the questions in the chat. So really, before we get into discussing the app and talking a little bit about the layout, I have about a 10-page deck to go through with you. I really want to make sure that we don't get into some like specifics for you questions. But if anyone, before we start the call, we can maybe take some questions, and then we can also finish on some questions, because I want to make sure that we get some of the questions out of the way first so we can dive into things. And before I start asking maybe anyone if they do have questions and you guys start asking, I want you to understand what's really exciting about this app is that, and we are working on a new update to probably come out in about a week. And so when we push this out, a lot of you may have seen, I think like the Netherlands got it a little bit late, the UK got it a little bit late. So certain countries, for specific reasons of Android and Apple, so Google Play, I think it's called, and then the Apple Store, they just receive it at different times. And so once you have the app and your phone, which you need to make sure that if you're on an iPhone, that it's the most up-to-date software. So the iOS software on your phone. Dylan, you're going to have to chime in about Androids, because I don't know how that works. Sorry if you have an Android.
It's actually probably easy for Android users. You can just go to the App Store, you can download anything.
Whatever, Dylan.
I'm just saying.
Obviously, we have a good inner office iPhone to Android conflict with Dylan and I and the rest of the team.
Androids are better, by the way, even though
I know. Well,
terrible.
That being said, you'll get a notification about the app updating and that there's a new version. So a lot of growth is going to come in the next 2 weeks from making changes to the app. So we've heard a lot of feedback about, hey, I want to edit my start date. Or, I know a few people contacted me about having vegan options, even though a lot of the meal plans don't have vegan options. Utilizing that as like identification in the beginning about, I think there was like the pescatarian. So as long as nobody has any questions, if you do, you can put them in the chat and Dylan and Duquesne can answer them, or if I see them. We'll go ahead and go through the deck, because I know that this is really new. If you weren't an RPS member on the call, we went into specifics about the app, and hopefully everyone has downloaded it. And if you haven't downloaded it, I'll put in the chat also the spot where you can go. So if you click that link that I just put into the chat, no matter what phone you have, it'll take you to Google, or it'll take you to the App Store so that you can go ahead and get it. So hopefully you guys have already downloaded it and started using it. So I'm going to go ahead and start this. When is it talking about some changes in the comp plan? We did discuss that, Peter. Clay was just talking about that. We will be going in depth in the future weeks. Sorry, Peter just hit me with the PM. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm not going to do the fancy share. I'm just going to do a regular old share. So today we're going to go a little bit over the ROM Effect app powered by Root. And as I was saying before, you know, you have the two options in which where you can download this. You have the Google Play Store, that's what it's called, and then the App Store. And so what's really awesome about the app, and Dylan Duquesne, if you guys can keep an eye, I can't see the chat bot with the screen that I have on, thank you, is that you have two ways in which you can sign up. And there was a little bit of confusion when we were discussing this in the beginning when we launched this, is that one, if you're on this call, you're probably a existing Root user. You are going to use the same email and password that you do to log into the Root website. And so it makes it really, really, really simple. This is also a good way because there's an awesome option in, and I think, Dylan, you can chime in about the Google Play Store, but I know in the Apple Store, you have a share button. So I can send anyone on this call, if I have your phone number, a text message with the app, as well as the link that I gave you in the chatbot. So you can go to the App Store and they have a way in which you can send the app via text message. So I was messaging a lot over the weekend with some ambassadors because they were asking if the deep link works with the app. And unfortunately, it does not. Just the way that apps track, you can't deep link in with an app. And so a lot of people were asking questions of like, you know, how is the best way for me to share my code with a new customer that would use the sign up for free button? And it would be that mechanism in which you can share, and this is, I'm speaking, so I'm going to try and always defer to Dylan about Android, but I'm speaking about iPhone, is that you can share that app and then say, use referral code, you know, whatever, Root, whatever your referral code would be. Dylan, do you want to share really quick about Android?
Hey guys, so I got it pulled up on my phone right here. On the top right corner of the Android screen, you'll see three buttons. If you click those three buttons on Android's App Store, you can share that page, and it'll take someone right to that page. And just like Patrick's saying, once they install the app, they can create their own free account. Just have them sign up underneath you like you normally would.
And this is really a hand-holding experience to which some of the ambassadors are really used to, which I think is an awesome aspect. And what we've done is, since we have the ability, is we've really opened up the window of time. So let's just say if I send this to Dylan and I'm like, hey, use my code, and Dylan by mistake clicks the code that he doesn't have one and it signs him up under the ROM Effect app, right? If I find out maybe 2 weeks later, I can message in customer support, and we've opened up that guideline to allow me to get Dylan to be placed underneath me again. And so we really want to make sure that we're not here trying to hinder anyone's growth. We are very much open to that. We are just trying to have a bigger soapbox in which we can spread the message of the Root products, Dr. Rom's amazing 30-day program, to as many individuals as possible. And that's really the goal here.
Patrick, can I yeah, you saw you
I know I know it's been so, we do this so often. I know.
Dr. Rom and Clayton had brought this up on the RPS call, and I just want to make sure we repeat it here, is that this is just another tool for you all.
Yep.
Okay. Some people might not like apps and they might not use this path at all. But so if you want to keep signing people up the old way and you don't want to mess with the app, that is okay. This is not something you have to do to be a Root ambassador, but it is another tool so that you all can get a new kind of genre or area of people that you weren't able to reach before. Because especially with the younger generation, they don't want to go on a computer. They much rather have an app. So this is just another tool for you all. And some of you all are probably going to use this a lot more than others, but it's another tool for you all to reach new people and to reach people that might not be interested in making a Root account right away, but they're interested in a health and wellness app. That's right up their alley.
Yep.
I can tell you for sure, when I was in college, and Dylan can agree with this, I would say probably 1 in every 3 student at some point, maybe 1/2 of every student at one point had a health and wellness app on their phone when they were trying to lose weight after gaining weight in college.
Well,
And go ahead, Dill.
I was gonna say I actually was a personal trainer at our college, and not just the students but the professors too. Everyone
Yeah.
preferred to have an app on their phone of some kind, mainly because it keeps you true to yourself and keeps you true to your goals. It's really hard unless you have a good, steady head of motivation to keep waking up every morning to say, I'm gonna go to the gym every day, or I'm gonna work out and take my crush or my sculpt. An app is a good guidance tool to help people learn the proper ways and educate them in proper mindset. So trust me on this one. If you tell people you have good products, but along with that, an app that is also using those products and the ability to train them to be healthier, it's going to go a long way.
Absolutely. Great points, guys. And so we've really tried to cater this and make this as simple as a process as it is to do on the website. And Dylan and Duquesne, myself, and the IT team, we've worked tremendously hard to make sure that even if you're on the website or if you're on the app, that this is just a very simple process and just another tool at your disposal that's in your toolbox, that when you're talking with somebody new, when you're discussing with a current customer of yours, another way that you can interact with them or have another talking point with them that you can bring up, because we love new things, whether it's a new product, a new way to engage with your customers or communities. And this is really, really simple. And so there's 2 options here, obviously, to sign in. So you're going to click the existing root account button, and it's going to basically give you that welcome back. You can see over here on the left-hand side of my screen. And you're going to then just log in. And obviously, if you don't have an account and you're stuck on that screen, you can click sign up or hit the back button. And you can always click the remember me, so you're always signed in. And then on the right-hand side of my screen, if you're a brand new user, you're going to head and you're going to fill out all the required fields. Excuse me, I'm having trouble talking. And it's going to be exactly mirrored similar to how you would on the website. Very, very simple. So a lot of people this weekend, and we can spend a little bit of time here. So guys, keep an eye on the chat, because I feel like this got messaged to me like 100 times over the weekend, which I'm actually happy for, is that everyone was really set in stone of like, oh man, I clicked beginner and I feel like I'm advanced, or, my goals are to gain muscle or, gain mental clarity. What I said to a lot of people is like, this isn't cemented into like eternity. This is just a way so that the app can get to know you. And so if you click that you're a beginner and you're really advanced, this is just a mechanism that you're to use while you're on your fitness journey. And it's not going to change a tremendous a lot within the app. It's just helping us really understand what your fitness goals are. Go ahead, Dylan.
I also want to talk on that too, because I feel like people's fear is that they won't have access to advanced workouts if they click beginner. But that's not true. When we went over and we created these workouts, specifically, if you go to the workout section and it gives you workout tutorials, you can see all the workouts available there, no matter what level you are. And there will be more workouts added in there as one of us has more time to do that.
Exactly. Great point, Dylan. And that is also like things that we're going to be updating and bringing out. And so the app doesn't change if you click advanced or beginner. It also doesn't change very much. It's just trying to understand what your goals are. And I guarantee that if I were to ask Duquesne and Dylan what their goals were in January and what their goals are now, they're going to be completely different. And so keep in mind, this is for a 30-day period, but it's also like, what are your goals right now? They could change tomorrow. It's not going to change anything in the app. It's just really an accountability tool. And it's just another aspect of us getting to know you, or the app getting to know you, so it can interact a little bit better. So that when we're adding updates, when we're adding all these additional touch points, that we're going to be able to cater this app better to you. And so even with the meal preferences, I want to make sure what is your dietary preference? I had a lot of people message me over the weekend about vegan. And as much as we try to cater to all types of communities, it's like me, I have celiac disease, right? And I know that I share that a lot to the community. And one of the feedback was, hey, can there be a celiac disease preference? And what my response to that was, is that I know what my dietary restrictions are. Dylan knows, he has 0, what his dietary restrictions are. And so I know that if I'm going to go through and I'm going to get a meal plan suggested for me, if it suggests farro, for example, I know that I'm not going to make that, and that I might substitute like a couscous, or not a couscous, excuse me, a quinoa. And so I really want to make sure that if you are vegan and that the meal plan maybe calls for a chicken or a protein, just go off your own goals and substitute it with, let's just say, tofu. This is all just to help guide you to make better decisions for your health, for your wellness, utilizing another touch point, which is the app.
And to go off that a little bit, when Dr. Ram designed this and we were going over and doing the editing, the main part of that is that if there's chicken or fish, that means you need to have a protein with it. So that's why Patrick's saying just substitute it for tofu or whatever version you decide of protein to put in your diet. But she designed this in a way so that you are hitting kind of those, I'm using the word macros. I don't know if everyone knows what that means. You're hitting those nutritional values in those meals. So like Patrick said, find whatever protein you like the most and replace that there, or find whatever carbs you like the most and put that there, or whatever it is at that section.
Apparently I was under arrest. I don't know if you guys heard that. So thank you, Duquesne. The next point that I wanted to discuss is really like getting started. And so we're looking at, on the next update, changing. So a lot of people, when they went through this, they're like, oh, I want to change my start date, and we understand that a fitness journey could start like, oh, I want to start on a Monday. Like that's the day that I want to get started. I chose Sunday, and I didn't do anything for my Sunday. So we're making an update for the next version of the app that will be that version of being able to make that edit, so that if you did mistakenly sign up on the app over the weekend and you're like, oh, I want Monday to be my start day, that you can make that edit.
Also, for people who aren't picky about the dates, if you click on the calendar tab, you can view all the dates in the 30-day period.
Yes.
So even if you don't start on the correct date or you miss one, you can always find the date you're looking for, and see what is in store for that day specifically.
Thank you, Dylan. And to Dylan's point, is that you can also look ahead at some of the days and really get an understanding at like what the day at a glance is, or where your rest days are. And we've added in some additional aspects of you taking a rest day. We said this on Friday on the RPS call, and I think it was Dylan who went really into this, is that this app is to meet you where you're at on your fitness level, whether it's going to the gym and crushing a 2-hour workout like Dylan, and doing back and buys and push and pull exercises, and really kind of like Dylan, his ethos is like every day he goes to the gym. Or somebody like me who maybe do some aesthetics and is still working on physical therapy for my shoulder. Or maybe my mom who is maybe walking 2 miles a day. This is really to meet you where you're at. No matter where your fitness journey is, no matter where you're at, no matter who you are, it's just to help create another accountability to get you on the right track of health and wellness.
Can I go off of that a little bit, Patrick? Can you scroll down Oh, this is a screenshot, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I got another one right here.
I was just gonna say, yeah, so there's morning meditation on here, and the morning meditation here is for each person to do their own. So just because it says 5 to 10 minutes of breathing exercises, you don't have to do that. Now, if you don't know how to meditate, then this is a good starting point because it gives you an idea of what to do. But I know everyone here had, or not everyone here, but like in HQ, like Patrick has his meditation tech, probably what he does every morning. I know I make my coffee and I do a prayer journal every morning. That's my meditation. So you don't have to do exactly what it says. This is a starting point that you need to do something in this category. You need to do some sort of meditation. Some people have never done meditation, so this gives them an idea. Other people have been doing meditation for 10 years and they might have the one that works best for them. So just wanted to add that in.
Yeah, that's a great point. And meditation to some people might be completely different. I know people that do a walking meditation and they're just basically going on a walk throughout their neighborhood and they're getting their exercise and they're getting their steps in. So again, just another way in which we can continue to make sure that we are meeting you where you're at within the app. Let me go back here. And so I wanted to make sure I touch base on this because this is a really unique way in which we can integrate products into these foundational day check-ins. And so you'll see while you're going through your day, you are clicking the wake up, clicking the breakfast, and you'll see, let's just say breakfast because I love this one, the mixed berry bowl with granola. So here's a couple points for me. I would now look at this and go, I'm going to remove the granola because one, granola is not gluten-free unless I get gluten-free granola, which I still don't like to eat, which it still gets me sick. But I would do a maybe like with yogurt, mixed berry bowl with yogurt and adding Give Me Back My Youth collagen. So it's okay to make small little changes and edits to this. But what I love about this app is it's got a very sleek way of introducing the products into each one of these recipes. So you can click on Give Me Back My Youth or Relive Greens, and it'll take you to a product page where you can purchase that product right there. Really, really awesome. And then yes, please.
No, well, I've done a lot of these before and I've met a lot of people. And one of the things that is frustrating in a lot of apps is if you mess up one day, and I don't even like using the word mess up, but if you have a busy day and you don't check a box, a lot of apps or programs like this, it completely ruins. But I want to let people know that that's not how this goes. If you have Tuesday, your second day involved, and you miss half the things, you can still go on to Wednesday. And the goal is that Wednesday, you just try to do slightly better. Maybe you're only able to do 3 or 4 of the things, but then you get to Wednesday and that day you do 2/3 of the activities. You will still get accomplishments and you'll still be working towards the goal. So I don't want people to think they have to be perfect every day. This is an app and a program that Dr. Ram created to help people take the steps necessary to improve their health, their wellness, their mental clarity, everything. But that is not a perfect journey. Anyone would say that. It has ups and downs. So I want to encourage people, and when you tell people about this app, you don't have to be perfect every day. Maybe the first week is really tough, but you get to week 2 and you complete 5 out of the 7 days. Well, then you can make a goal for week 3 to do 6 out of the 7 days or 7 out of the 7 days. So it's a continual journey that you don't have to be perfect on. And maybe the first 30 days is a little rough, but you can do it again for a second 30 days. And then you have the routine, and the second 30 days, you fully embrace it and you have it all down. So I know I've done kind of health and wellness apps like this in the past, and it gets really discouraging when you mess up one day and that's like, it's over. Like it doesn't work anymore. But I want to encourage people that that's not how this is. It is a true journey to getting where your health and wellness should be and taking ownership of it.
I couldn't agree more. Go
I
ahead,
do want to
Dylan.
mention we're almost out of time, by the way.
Yep. Yeah, so I'll go through these last couple slides pretty quickly. So we want you to explore the app. So go through the app, click on the calendar. You can see your day at a glance. You can really access the agenda or the calendar for what you're going to be interacting with every day. There's a lot of really great video, or not video, excuse me, but photos of like what you're going to be doing. And so here's just another library of, and we're adding more products into the product category. You have all the workouts here, really helping you explain what the workouts do, and then all of the meals. So again, really trying to create some aesthetics to really help you go through your fitness journey and incorporate some proper nutrition, and to incorporate some aspects around that are going to help you become a better person and show up better for your family, for your friends, for your community. And the reason why we really did this is it's another touch point. And we talk about this in marketing, for those of you who are involved in marketing, is that sometimes a customer won't purchase something. I believe it's 7 times that they need to see something.
7 to 9 or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a billboard on a wall, a commercial on the TV, Instagram ad, a Google ad, and then a Facebook ad, and then they're going to purchase that item. What you need to think about this is just another touch point, another really awesome way to integrate our products into a daily routine. And maybe that looks like something different. Like on my routine, yeah, I take my Relive Greens, but I'm also adding a creatine from another company. I'm also adding a glutamine from a company. That doesn't make me a bad person. It just, I'm infusing that into my current wellness journey, and I'm using that as well as my Crush. I'm not taking Sculpt, but all these other products that I'm taking, my Relive Greens. So this is just another tool for you to introduce it and to bring people into the fold and to help them on their fitness and wellness journey. So, Dylan, Duquesne, you guys have anything to add before we close?
One more thing. So on the workout sections, please click into those and read through the workouts with, like, as they go through. There are easy workouts, there are harder workouts, but make sure you're stretching while you're doing this, and make sure if you're going to do any kind of advanced workout, you were doing it properly with a good form. I tried my hardest to make sure that everything was laid out very specifically for certain ones. The ones that get harder, I tried really talking those through pretty in depth.
Yep. And so, couple touch points here is that we shared the link. I'll share it again right here just so that you guys have that to download it. So you will notice on the website when you are on the PDP for Crush and Sculpt, that same link is there. It'll take you there so that you can go ahead and download the app. The app is in itself separate from the website, but on the back end, they are connected. So keep that in mind. If you want to use the app, you use the app. If you're going to go to the website to look at your account or your back office, you're going to go to the website. So those two are two separate entities, but they are connected in the back end. Please share this with your friends. Please share this with your communities. We're not forcing anyone to do this, but we think this is a really great tool for somebody to use on their fitness journey, and we're really excited to bring this. And it's going to be evolving and changing and growing as we continue to get better feedback, as we continue to update it. As in every other app that I've downloaded, there's always constant changes and bug fixes and things that we're going to be adding to it. So this is a really exciting time for us and for what Dr. Ram has created. So I think go ahead and check it out. Let us know what you think, and contact
quick.
customer support if you have any problems. Yes, Duquesne.
I just want to, because I got 3 messages about this just as we were about to end. You can change the language. This is not only in English.
Yes. Thank you.
When you are on you download the app, that home page, there is a globe in the top right-hand corner where you can change the language. If you forget to change the language, all you have to do is log out of your app. It will take you back to that home screen, and then you can change your language and it will be updated that language. So for those that are worried that it's in English and they can't push that out in the German community, there is a German app. I believe there's French and 3 more languages that I forget. I apologize. But there are other options. So again, on the home screen, before you log in, there's a globe in the top right-hand corner. You can click on that and change the language. If you forgot to do that, just log out of your app, go to my profile. There's an option to log out, change the language, and you can log back in. That's all I got.
Before you log in.
Yes. Oh, Clayton's got it pulled up. There you go.
Look at that. So this is an important part for our German community, since our German community seems to be the largest. See, it's number 2. So if you're a good German, what you want to do is elect Turkish, because, well, it's difficult. So if you speak German, you should do Turkish just for a challenge. And then log back out and do German, and you'll be happy. Maybe
Clay,
not.
hit us with that konnichiwa.
Oh, man, I miss doing this. I miss being on here with you guys because of our crazy travel schedule. But konnichiwa, my friends. We will see you next week. And you know, it's a new month. Holy shnikes, this is the 1st of July. Can we put on some Bone Thugs and Harmony, please? Can we hold on? We cannot go out with konnichiwa. We have to have a little bone. Hold on.
It's the 1st of the month. For those of you who are celebrating in America, happy 4th of July. Like I said on the weekend report, HQ will be out Thursday, Friday. Customer support still available, so please reach out if you have any problems. Duquesne?
I think it's Canada Day too. I got something on my Instagram.
Is it?
Oh, I think Claire
There
just
we go.
Yeah, it's Canada Day. So happy
Wow.
Canada Day to Canadians.
Oh, look, it's Claire there. Oh, Canada. Look at that. I'm sorry.
Hey,
I forgot to put that in the newsletter, Claire.
I didn't know until today when I got an Instagram. So
That what?
It's
Canada
Canada
Day.
Day.
Oh,
Look at-
that's right. No one cares.
We care. I care.
We love our
Claire.
Canadians, all 6 of them. I got Bone on, so I'm happy now. It's the 1st of the month. I get my Biden check. No, we don't.
All right, bye,
We couldn't
y'all.
remember to send them out. There we
Bye.
go.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good week.
Bye.